part of this, the importance of this campaign was to present a lesser told story about what's going on, and it's the casualties, not necessarily of people dying overseas, but the casualties that are coming back home and sometimes are being redeployed into combat zones. And so we wanted to showcase and highlight those types of things that are happening to our soldiers and challenge the American people to say, is this something that we should be responsible for? Should we be responsible in stopping this from happening? Is this the type of military that we want, where we have folks on medication, we have folks who have experienced extreme trauma, traumatic brain injury, PTSD, and even military sexual trauma from people within their own unit. And we're asking these people to go back to the place of their trauma and relive it while they're still trying to heal. And so our challenge was to say that veterans have a right to heal. And I think when we first presented this argument, it was just so apparent to us. I mean, we are veterans. We talk to each other and we hear the stories from each other about how someone experienced something like this and they were forced to redeploy, or they were stop loss, or they were told to be quiet about it, or else they might be demoted or something like that. And we saw this as a cultural problem in the military as much as it is an awareness problem for the public. And so part of what we were doing was we were empowering our people to come out and speak up about this, and we were getting testimony from those people and delivering it, because what was shocking to us is that how few people actually knew that this was going on, even though it's being documented and things like that. Very few people, and I've even talked to senators, and I've talked to people, in high places, and they would deny to our face that this was happening. No, we don't deploy traumatized soldiers. It never happens. And what we were finding with our statistics, and you guys can find them in your fact sheet, is that actually a third of soldiers that have been surveyed who've gone to the VA have claimed to be traumatized. So that's a third of our fighting force is traumatized. And some of those people aren't even getting adequate help. Some of those people are just being sent back out and not being treated. And then we started to see how this was tied to other issues, like suicide. So you imagine somebody who's dealing with so much trauma, and their only option is to take their own life. And why are the suicide rates in such high epidemic numbers? And we believe this is closely connected to that. And you also consider how many deployments these guys have been going to. Men and women have been going back and forth. Some of these folks with 7 and 8 deployments. I don't think in the history of our country we've experienced any group of individuals who've had to redeploy to a combat zone that many times.